Good morning. This is Mission Control Houston. Thank you for joining us for today's ISS update this Thursday, December 22nd. Aboard the orbiting complex, Station Commander Dan Burbank and flight engineers Anton Shkaplerov and Anatoly Ivanishin, now rounding out their 6th week in space, continue to conduct science experiments that take advantage of their microgravity environment, perform regular maintenance to their orbital home, and prepare for the arrival of 3 new crew members who are scheduled to arrive at the space station tomorrow morning at 9:22 a.m. Central Time. Yesterday, NASA astronaut Don Pettit, Russian cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko, and European Space Agency astronaut Andrei Kuipers launched aboard the Soyuz TMA-03M from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan at 7:16 a.m. Central Time. They have begun their 2-day chase on orbit to catch up to the International Space Station. Ascent and the first 2 rendezvous burns were all nominal yesterday. The Soyuz performed another rendezvous maneuver today, and all systems aboard the Soyuz spacecraft continue to check out nominally. The Soyuz is slated to link up to the International Space Station tomorrow morning when it docks to the Rossviet module. Live coverage of the Soyuz docking will begin here on NASA television at 8:45 a.m. Central Time, with docking scheduled to occur at 9:22 a.m. Central Time. Meanwhile, the Expedition 30 crew, now aboard the International Space Station, began their morning with the first of 2 daily planning conferences a couple hours after wake-up at midnight. Commander Dan Burbank is busy now gathering and setting up hardware required for the EPIC card installation and testing in preparation for the station's onboard computer architecture upgrade to increase its performance. Meanwhile, Anton Shkaplerov and Anatoly Ivanishin are conducting the BAR experiment that tests and validates methods to detect pressure leaks on board the station to improve spaceflight safety. And later, Shkaplerov will photograph ongoing geophysics experiment known as Uragan that tests an experimental ground-based system that uses Earth observations from the space station's vantage point to classify and predict natural disasters such as hurricanes. Earlier this morning, after performing a reaction self-test that monitors the daily effects of fatigue on performance during long-duration spaceflight and his regular morning inspection of the station, Commander Dan Burbank began his workday on the microgravity science glove box. He also did some work on the compound-specific analyzer. Burbank then set up the cubic, which is a small temperature-controlled incubator or cooler that is used to study biological samples in preparation for the science payload that studies the function of substances produced within the body in regulation of the immune processes and cell cycle under microgravity conditions. That science payload launched aboard the Soyuz spacecraft yesterday morning that is now on its way to the International Space Station. Also earlier this morning, Commander Burbank participated in a live in-flight interview with WDIV-TV in Detroit, Michigan. Flight engineer Anton Shkaplerov spent some time early this morning with a variety of maintenance tasks of the service module, including some circuitry checkout, a coolant leak, and a control and atmosphere monitoring sensor checks, and also a filter unit replacement. This is Mission Control Houston.